Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love is Blind, Season 7, Episode 7.
Listen here. This is the part 2 of the Love is Blind, Episode 7, 8, and 9. I think it's the 3 episodes that they released.
Yep, they do drop. Mm-hmm.
Yep, we going to do 7 today. We going to release 8 and 9 tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Is y'all cool with that? Subscribe, like, share, comment. Blair, walk us through this episode, please.
Okay, so we start with Marissa and Ramses. They are on a yacht.
Yeah.
So she was in the Navy. She's talking about how she can navigate a ship, and it's just kind of nice to be back on the water. Mm-hmm. She talks about how it was a great experience, but it was also hard keeping up relationships, and also she missed home.
Now, this is Marissa and Ramses, right?
Yeah.
Near the end of this episode, the conversation that they have made me like her. Because if you paid attention to what I've been saying from episode 1 to now, I was like, I don't trust them. Yeah. It's something about them. But the conversation that she had with her fiance while having dinner made me like her in a lot of ways. And I didn't even agree with nothing she said. And I'm going to explain that at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Tim and Alex are talking, and he pretty much is like, what happened last night between them wasn't cool. Mm-hmm. Alex is just trying to take in what he said. Tim feels like because she's willing to listen and see where he's coming from, he's open to still exploring the relationship. Mm-hmm. So they're supposed to be going ATV riding today, and Alex doesn't really know if Tim's going to come or just kind of how he feels about being around her at this point.
Oh, I'm a dog. I'm a dog. I'm an object that can't be moved. I'm a dog.
I need somebody to bite back.
I need some. You know what? The thing I love about her most is that she
ain't scared.
She ain't scared, and she's willing to go back with me and things like that. Now he's like, last night was unacceptable.
Okay.
Come on, Tim. See, and that's what I said about the last time we recorded. Mm-hmm. The best thing you like about her is the fact that she fights you back on things. Mm-hmm. No, I don't go out and work, me personally, to go fight the world, fight the man. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? And then I come home and I don't want to fight my wife. That doesn't mean that we don't disagree, but that's not the best parts that I like about a relationship. No, there's other things. So, Tim, it looked like you got a dog too. Yeah. Okay, it looked like there's 2 dogs in the house, but we'll see.
So Ashley and Tyler, they actually ride camels. Mm-hmm. So she can see herself marrying him. She doesn't think that she would ever find a guy like him again. Mm-hmm. So they talk about the holidays, and they said last Christmas they both just kind of cooked for themselves, did their own thing. She wants to create their own traditions for the holidays, and Tyler says when we have kids, we could do a deep dive of old Christmas movies and maybe host ugly sweater parties. So they are really on the same page.
Really? You mean when I have kids? Because Tyler, we found out you got 3. Yeah, Tyler.
Now I look at them and I'm just like, Tyler, I don't care what you talk about. Mm-hmm. And what's her name? Ashley talking about, I don't think I can find another man like this. I'm just like, yeah, it's a lot of hymns out here. It is. There's a whole lot of hymns out here. Mm-hmm. But, I'm biased now.
Oh, no. Don't tell me you're biased, Blair.
I'm biased now. Tyler, I don't care about what you want to do with kids and Christmas and all that type of stuff. What you doing with your current children?
Wow.
Okay. He said he was a sperm donor. I don't know. He seemed like the type to be lying and finessing. Mm-hmm. So I'm not quite going for that, especially with the pictures we saw. So.
Yeah, listen here, man. My wife showed me the TikTok, y'all. Mm-hmm. Okay. But my whole thing is I ain't like Tyler from the jump because I felt like he was just saying a whole bunch of empty nothings, sweet nothings rather, where he was just basically love bombing. He's in the part saying you're my favorite person in the world. How? You never even met me. True. You get what I'm saying? So Tyler, he was just very hollow to me, just big but just empty inside. You get what I'm saying?
You had a good read on him.
Exactly. Thank you.
So we've got Hannah and Nick. They go bungee jumping and they both make it out alive.
Listen here, she made sure he went first.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Taylor and Garrett, they go to a glass blowing demonstration. I'm like, that's something I really want to do. That. Listen here. That's really cool.
You know how many times we were supposed to actually see glass blowing and we always missed the time. Literally, we said we would be back. We never go back. Yeah. Okay, one day we go to a glass blowing thing.
Yes. So we see Steven and Monica. They are at a Mexican restaurant.
This was weird.
He said apparently that he would get flowers for her in the pods.
Yeah.
Monica says that she's been waiting Ain't no flowers popped up. And it's more than just the flowers for her, but she feels like, actions matching words is important to her.
Okay.
And Steven says that he used flowers as more of a concept, but he says maybe something like flowers. And then Monica explains that one of her love languages is gifts.
Oh.
She spends money on gifts for people, and she's very thoughtful about the gifts that she gets people. Steven says, well, with my family for Christmas, the last time they could really provide gifts for everybody, it was like a long time ago.
Okay.
It's like, why are you saying this, Steven? But Monica tells him, look, I don't want our financial upbringing differences to like come between us. And Steven says that he knows he doesn't have to get her something super nice, like a Kate Spade bag. And she was like, do not get me that. She doesn't want to sound materialistic, but she wants to feel special. He says that he doesn't want to disappoint her, but it is just a lot moving forward with this marriage thing. He doesn't want to feel like he's being forced into doing something. And, he wants to be able to take his time if he's having second thoughts. And she says, so are you having second thoughts? I mean, you're the one who proposed to me. You was the one in the pod, telling me that you wanted to be with me. So what are you talking about? You're just figuring out how serious this is. I would have thought you would have thought about that before you signed up for this.
Yeah.
Steven says he doesn't really feel that way. He doesn't quite know how to word it, but he is in love with her. He's just nervous about the huge commitment. He just doesn't want to feel overwhelmed.
Okay.
So they end up both saying they love each other and they're going to figure it out.
You first, Blair.
My first thoughts, I don't know why we're talking about flowers and gifts as a concept. A concept for what? So if you're saying that you are going to dote on her and give her these items, and you've preached, or not preached, but just basically said that this is something that you would do to enrich your relationship, I think it's fair for Monica to be like, so where the gifts at? Where the flowers at? We're in Mexico. You can't get me a little something from the store or whatever.
That's fair.
So yeah, I kind of felt her on that. Yeah, do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
And then for him to bring up his upbringing and how he hasn't gotten gifts for Christmas in a long time. Sir, you're 30-something years old. Get yourself a gift and get your partner a gift.
Wow.
I don't know why we're talking about your childhood and stuff like that. I mean, I can understand where maybe gifts aren't as important to him because it wasn't something he had growing up. But if you're talking about it in the pods, to me, that means you recognize that it's somewhat important. So I don't really get where Steven's coming from on this one. Then I thought it was funny when she was like, don't give me no Kate Spade back. She's like, the difference between like Louis and YSL or like whatever the case may be. So she seems like a brand girly. And
okay, so what's Kate Spade? Is Kate Spade is like expensive?
I think, at least I'm not a brand girly, so y'all can correct me. But for me, Kate Spade is more so like
is it like,
it's a department store, nice
like,
kind of brand.
Is it like TJ Maxx type of stuff?
Not quite TJ Maxx. I would say maybe like JC Penney.
Okay. Okay.
Or I don't know, just like these big box store department stores have a lot of like Kate Spade items.
Yeah.
Versus going to an actual luxury not realtor.
A real store.
Yeah, real store where it's a Chanel or it's whatever the case may be. So it's different from Kate Spade, where it's not like they quite have their own store of like luxury and boxing and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So she seems like that's what she likes. So I would figure Steven would pick up on that. So that's about it.
So many things, because she said not a Kate Spade bag, and I'm thinking like, oh, okay, I don't know what that is. And then she said something about Louis Vuitton, and then I think she said something about YSL. Yeah. I heard YSL before, right? Here's the thing. She's not wrong, but she ain't right. Right? So this is not me defending Steven, because I'm not a fan of Steven either. I'm actually not a fan of either of them as a couple. I'd rather have Leo and the other girl.
Okay.
She said flowers, but I feel like time and place in a way. I feel like, hey, we're on vacation. Is this the time to actually hold me to that word that I said in the pod? I'm thinking we having a good time. I felt like she was searching for a fight, and that's what it came off as. It came off as we sitting down, we having lunch or things of that nature, and she's like, you said that you would get me flowers, and I still haven't got the flowers. And I'm just like, that, for one, that's kind of left field and things like that. We only been here for a couple days. You haven't really even gave me time to really prove myself outside of you searching for a reason to be like, you said you go give me flowers, like get me flowers. And I'm just like, okay, well, damn, Now, Steven responds to this. Now, flowers do not cost a lot. Steven's response worried me because it seems like he's opposed to giving flowers. You get what I'm saying? It's like he's like, well, I wasn't actually talking about flowers. I was talking about flowers as a concept. We didn't land on Plymouth. It's like no. She wants flowers. I think you should just start with flowers and things like that. And even if you're using it as a concept, I think you're actually making it worse for yourself because flowers don't cost that much. Yeah. What do you mean? Now this conversation is turning into something deeper. But my whole point is, if it was just about flowers, or if it was just something about gift giving, or if it was something about the love languages and actually her feeling love and showing love, I would be on Monica's side. But I think she is being very passive aggressive. Even when they say I love you to each other, it is just a passive aggressive way to say it. It is not because she loved that man. She says it to end a sentence. She basically says this, and this, and then she's like, "I love you. You're my favorite person in the world." Mm-hmm. But then she goes back to criticizing the guy a couple scenes later. Yeah. And then they use "I love you" as like a way to end the sentence. But I don't think it's like real at all. I think she don't like that man at all, and I think she's easily annoyed by him.
I think you're like 98% right on that. My only 2%
what's the 2?
Is that if Steven, which a lot of guys do,
help me,
is they present themselves in a certain way. Yeah, and if he's talking about, I'm the type of guy who will think of you, who will get you flowers, who will do these types of things, I would think if we're on vacation, say I'm sleeping and you go for like a walk around the resort, maybe you might pick me up a flower if you're that type of guy.
Do you think she's the type of person to want a flower from?
But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how Steven presented himself, and if he's like, I'm going to think of you, these are the ways I'm going to show I love you, this is this is how I'm going to show that to you, then I would think that if this is who you are and who you claim to be, then the few days that we've been here, I would have got something from you if that's really you. So that's my only piece. I'm just like, don't present yourself that way. I'm like, that's not how you are.
We on vacation, like we still in Cabo.
I get that, and I'm fine with that. But also, Monica likes gifts. Number one, and number two, he presented himself to be someone who is a gift giver.
But my thing is, if I have no problem if you are the type to like gifts, it becomes a problem for me if you are someone who like gifts but you don't like me. Like, I think he gets the feel that she does not like me like that. Oh. I think it's a vibe. The man was talking last episode, and she was like, "Oh my God, I couldn't get a word in." And I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't know you was ready to jump in the conversation.
I'm very much of the belief for guys, do what you say you're going to do.
And then she was like, "Go get my slippers." Uh-huh. When you walk past them.
I'm not gonna lie, she's rude.
No, she's very rude.
Yeah,
she's very rude.
Yeah. So moving on, Alex and Tim go ATV riding.
Yeah.
So they are on this suspension bridge. Tim is driving. They are both kind of nervous, but they get over it safely. They end up stopping out and to get out by the beach to just chill and talk. And they're both willing to start fresh. He says that he will come back to the hotel room.
Yeah. This already lets me know. A lot of people are trying to speculate who was in the wrong, who was in the right, and things like that. I think just off of speculation, my prediction, I think if we had to do a percentage of who was in the wrong, I'd probably go 70-30. Alex was in the wrong, maybe 30 for Tim. Because Alex is not even pushing back on like things were said, I want him to come back and things like that. My thing is, when someone's in the wrong, the person who's in the right got no problem saying, "Hey, this is what you did that was disrespectful, this was wrong." Yeah. But since Tim is the one that left the hotel, since Tim is the one that's talking about respect, since Tim is the one that's basically setting the new foundation of this can't happen again, I think he was the offended party in all of this. But you wanted a dog. You're the dog, right? Yeah. And now you're a crying dog. You know what I mean? So maybe y'all need to rework that foundation and not make it so like, going back and watching some of the old episodes, she do kind of come off as like, she acts you like, some people say I'm bossy. Some people say I'm this, and she does seem like she's ready to challenge you. Maybe you need to work the foundation and maybe make that one of the things that is not a strong suit of what you like in Alex, of being challenged and things like that. Maybe y'all both need to have conversations outside of your sister and things of that nature and talk about, you know what, I'm headstrong. I respect that you're headstrong, but I don't want this to be a headstrong relationship. Right? We can be headstrong outside this house, but inside the house, can we yield to each other? You get what I'm saying? Besides using that as a positive to why you like the relationship. You get what I'm saying? Because it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
So all the couples get together for the evening.
Yeah.
Hannah is talking to the girl. She feels like she teaches Nick a lot, and eventually maybe he'll teach her something one day.
I do not like this girl Hannah, boy. I'm legs shaking under the table right now, boy. I do not like this girl Hannah at all.
Alex says that that Tim was going to lead the experiment, but they ended up smoothing things over. So there's some fireworks that end up coming out. So everybody runs out to go see the fireworks.
Yeah.
Monica goes to grab Steven to be like, oh, come out and look at the fireworks. But Steven and Garrett were having a conversation. So he said, you go ahead and, I'm just going to finish talking to Garrett. So Monica comes back in and she's just kind of being like passive aggressive and like, it was so romantic outside and all this type of stuff. Thanks for coming. Yeah. And Steven reiterates, I was talking to Garrett. I was trying to give him his moment. And Monica's clearly annoyed. Yeah. So she is telling some of the girls that, this is the type of thing that pisses her off. Steven goes to check on her. Then he goes to bring her some sparkling water. He apologizes. And Monica says, basically, like, I thought you were going to make up for the flowers. Steven says that he's used to Garrett's thinking patterns. And basically, he just has a different ways of describing things. So he just needed to get out whatever he was thinking. So apparently, they were talking about being on the show and having more just basically visibility, and how there's going to be more women that might come across them and more temptation, and how they're going to go about handling that. So Monica, she ends up getting up because she's tired of hearing him talk. And Taylor, she's sitting there listening to him, but he's saying he never once stopped to question the love that he has for Monica. But when we see Taylor and Garrett, if this is later on towards the end of the night, they making out. So Taylor wasn't too concerned about him not seeing the fireworks with her.
What is your thoughts on that? On that whole scene right there.
Yeah, I feel like Monica was being a little nitpicky.
Come on.
I do feel like your partner doesn't have to be tied to the hip with you at all
times. Come on.
If you see that they're in a conversation with somebody, they don't need to drop the conversation because you said, come on, let's go. I think that Monica can be, a little hard with him.
A brat.
Yeah, not everything is that deep. Just the way that Taylor went out and looked at the fireworks. Even when the guys were out, it was like Tim and Tyler, they were hugging each other, and Alex was just Ashley was just enjoying the fireworks.
Yeah, because Ashley don't like that man either. But that's just my theory.
But I'm just saying it didn't need to be an argument.
Yeah,
it's how I felt. I think that she really has him like on the stand of trying to prove himself, and I think that she's looking for any and every opportunity to have an issue. So,
but yeah, I'm supposed to give her flowers. Like
you said you was the type to.
No. and you also said that I'm the greatest man you ever met.
Okay.
I mean, come on, if we gonna stick by the words. The thing about it is, this is my biggest fear when it comes to because me and Blair did a reaction, our first impressions to this cast, and my biggest fear when Blair said that this is a mature cast where a lot of people are working and older and things like that, I did like that feel. But my biggest fear with that, Blair, was that, hey, if you're this old, in your late 30s, mid 30s, whatever age you are, even late 20s, and you have no history of dating, you become a weirdo. And Monica's a weirdo and things like that. Steven's a weirdo too. Don't get me wrong. Don't take my defense of Steven as if like I like Steven. Steven was having a lot of word vomit when it comes to the whole women is this and women is that, and Taylor just sitting there like, I'm just waiting for you to get back to the point. You know what I'm saying? But Monica, my thing is, it's too early in the relationship to basically go at Steven the way that she is. It's too early for it. That's something that I would do 10 years, 20 years into a relationship when I know the person. You get what I'm saying? And it wouldn't be intentional. It would just be like, even something as simple as he brought her sparkling water and he was like, I don't know if you like sparkling water. She was like, I don't, but I drink it. I'm like, what? Like this is the stage where you're supposed to just
say thank you.
Exactly.
It's nice.
Exactly. But my whole thing is, if my wife was to bring me sparkling water, she never seen me drink sparkling water a day in my life.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I can see her being kind of like, hey, do you like sparkling water? If you don't like it, I'll get you something else. I'm now open and free because I know her to be like, yeah, I'm not really a fan of sparkling water. Besides, if it's a girl that I like and I want to impress, I'm like, oh, man, I like sparkling water. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So it's like she's doing everything in her power, and then her how she really feels about him outside of the "I loved you" and all that other fake stuff that they be doing in front of each other. When she was talking amongst the girls, he annoys me. He's this, he's that. Like, I get the ick, and it's just like, yo, you don't have a rich spirit, Monica. Like you just come off as a nasty brat, someone who's needy. But truth be told, you just don't like him.
Yeah.
But you keep saying I love you and all these other weird stuff. It's just weird.
And I will say that I understand that these group moments are for people to kind of come together and talk about what they're going through. But I don't really like seeing people rag on their partners the way that they do. I feel like you guys are engaged. You're trying to get to know each other. You're trying to establish a foundation. I think you can, like, there's a way to say that there's certain things that you're like working through, but just to be like how Hannah's just like, oh yeah, I teach him everything. And, and all that type of stuff. I'm just like, why are you trying to make your partner seem like they're below you?
Because she don't like him.
It's just like that just rubs me the wrong way.
No, it's definitely it's a complete 180, 360, 720. At first she was over here like, oh my goodness, I am so I have insecurities and things like that based on how I look. I lost all this weight. Now she 100% feels like she's better than Nick. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So Steven and Monica, they're back in the apartment or the hotel room.
Yeah.
And they're talking about, and he's like refolding his clothes, just trying to pack up. You know, the night before they have to like head out the next day.
Yeah.
And he's talking about just how like it's kind of annoying to have to refold and pack everything. And Monica asked him to fold in the morning and just lay with her tonight. And so he was just like, yeah, I guess if I didn't make such a mess, then I wouldn't have to do this. And she was like, yeah.
Dude, you see what I mean? Because for one, he was folding the clothes the way he likes to fold the clothes.
Right.
He was buttoning his shirts and folding it. And she was like, do you have to button your shirt to fold it? Can you just do that in the morning? No, I'm doing it now. But my whole point is I can say that because I'm married to my wife. I've been with my wife for a while. You get what I'm saying? Y'all are still 3 days, 2 days of just seeing each other.
Yeah.
Y'all are still in that, I feel something and I think something, but I want to impress him because I like him. I want to impress her because I like her. So I'm not going to nitpick on how he fold his clothes on date number 2.
Yeah.
Dude, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's something that married people do. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I also feel like...
Help me, Blair.
Well, I'll say I feel like Monica, like you said, just has to let him do things in his own way, in his own timing. I'll be the first to say I'm not a big fan of packing the night before we have to leave from wherever we're going. I'd rather just do it in the morning. I want to chill, enjoy the rest of my vacation. But that doesn't mean I get to tell my husband like, hey, you can't pack either. You know what I'm saying? If you don't feel like doing it right now, you don't, but let him do his thing.
Exactly.
So I don't quite.
And then we're married. So I'd be like, hey, come on, let's pack. Usually I'm like, I'll be like, come on, we both pack.
The thing is, it makes for
it makes it better.
Exactly.
It makes it be like, yo, only thing we got to do is get up and leave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But listen, going, Blair's on top of that.
Yeah.
Look, Blair starts packing 5 days before we gotta leave.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So look, it's the yin and yang of relationships. You don't nitpick your partner or even someone you like that much. You get what I'm saying? It's just weird.
Yeah. So Taylor, she's just talking to Garrett and telling him that she appreciates the pace at which he's allowing her to go and respecting that pace for their relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the couples get back from vacation. They're back in DC. They are in the shared apartments. And this is like when the show gets good for me. Okay. I truly enjoy when we get back to real life.
I guess these 6 episodes was basically pre-gaming you for this right here.
It was.
Okay.
So Hannah is in the apartment with Nick. She gets annoyed by couch cushions being messed up, so she's fixing things or whatever. Her dog Luna is going to be coming, and he asks her, so do you need some help with the dog? Do you want to do some type of 50-50 thing? And Hannah's pretty much jokes like, yeah, I need you to do everything with the dog, but she says you can just help me out here.
Yeah, she's joking around.
She thinks that he needs to be told to do things. She thinks that you won't just do things. You won't take out the trash. I have to actually tell you to do it. She thinks that she's more mature than him, more emotionally intelligent, more intelligent.
Come on, now hold on. I need you to say it in the mic, Blair. Say that again for me, please.
She thinks she's more mature than Nick, more emotionally intelligent, and more intelligent.
Keep going.
Nick says, so, how will you be able to live with me, somebody that is basically dumb and immature?
That little passive aggressive banter that they be having.
Hannah asks if he can mount a TV. He says no, but he can do dishes, laundry, cook. He can do a lot of things except mount a TV. Hannah asks what he's going to cook for her. And Nick says maybe fish, pasta, chicken salad. They kind of joke because at first he said salad and she was like, anybody can go get a salad pretty much.
Ooh, I do not like this.
Hannah says that she's very independent. She's very her way or the highway. If she's upset, she just needs a little bit of space, but she is excited to live with him.
Can I go first, Blair?
Yeah, go ahead.
I said, can I go first?
Yes.
When did we get to the stage where you just outright calling me dumb?
Yeah.
like tell me what I did.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? Hannah went from the ugly duckling syndrome that I gave her with the whole, I lost 45 pounds and I'm used to being with the cheerleader. I'm like the cheerleader that's with the quarterback and all this stuff, misrepresenting herself. You get what I'm saying? And now she's like, I have insecurities and things like that. And I just feel like you're all this. And now she see Nick that he's a smaller guy. He's a shorter guy. He's kind of goofy and things of that nature. And she feels like she's better than Nick to the point where she can literally say, I feel like you need to be told what to do.
Yeah.
Right. And and she just going off of this list that she made on her own, by the way, of these 10 things that she basically guessed about Nick. That he's delusional, that he's immature, that it's just all these things. And she's like, yeah, I feel like I got to tell you to take out the trash. First of all, you're not my mama. Right. Let's start. I may live with my mama. Check out next episode. But you're not my mama. The rule of the house is, guess what? When the trash is full, whoever's going out, take the trash out.
Right.
It's that plain and simple. But now she's trying to basically not only call him dumb because she don't like him, but question his masculinity. Hey, you know how to mount a TV? Because that's what men do. Well, let's talk about maturity. Maturity is not quitting a job to be on a TV show. Let's start there. Number one. Number two, all these things you was just manipulated for 4 episodes that we saw by a guy you didn't even see, Leo.
Yeah, that's true.
So and by your own girls inside the pod. So don't even try to tell me about you're this mature, independent person. You was basically making your decisions based on what the girls was telling you, and Nick confronted you about that. Like, so you dumped me because of what somebody else said? Yeah. So don't talk to me about maturity. I stop right here. I give it a break because I can go. Go ahead, Blair.
I just feel like Hannah's judgmental and she hides it with passive aggression and sarcasm, and that's why I'm not the biggest fan of sarcasm.
Sarcasm is my favorite thing.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan, especially if you're just meeting somebody, because I don't really know how you feel about me because you're saying all these things to Nick as though he's stupid and immature. So as far as I can tell, that's all he has to go off of is what you're saying. So that's, to me, is what you really feel about him. Otherwise, speak up on how you feel about this man. Come on. Because I don't see why anybody would want to be with somebody who thinks the worst of them. So for me, Hannah, she's a flop to me. And I think that maybe she's very critical of herself, and that's why she's so harsh with other people, or Nick in particular, because she just feels like, people or herself don't measure up to some certain standard in her head. Like, let people be who they are. If it turns out that you don't like Nick and you don't want to be with him, that's fine, but don't tear him down in the process. That's childish.
No, here's the thing. You said it perfectly. Because she thinks so lowly of herself, she have to bring somebody down to herself. Yeah. So now, instead of you having the ugly duckling syndrome to where you think this self, now I could confidently say 7 episodes in, you're ugly. Because, and I'm not even talking about appearance only. I'm talking about you don't have a rich spirit. I've been listening to Kendrick Lamar these past weeks. You don't have a rich spirit. Like your whole aura is just weird and off and ugly. And you talking down on this man and things of that nature. And I'm not spoiling anything, but the trailer that we see after they did episode 6 of what to expect from the season, she over here I taught you how to be a man and things like that.
Oh God,
that's something we gonna see. And now I'm like the audacity of you, when this is all over, you're going to you're unemployed.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But listen, I'm sure Hannah will give us a lot of reasons to dislike her. But yeah, Hannah, she don't have a rich spirit. She's ugly to me. Her whole attitude, the way she talks, the way she walks, the way she dressed.
Okay.
All the above.
Number one hater.
Oh yeah.
So we got Taylor and Garrett.
Yeah, help me.
So the good thing about Love is Blind is not having social media, not checking out each other's social media to kind of see if they get an ick or kind of what's going on. And Garrett says all he does is go to work and he does spear fishing.
Yeah, he loves
so his social media is all the fish that he caught. He talks about it is pretty hard. I mean, these are big, dangerous fish.
Yeah.
So Taylor pulls up his social media and she checks out the fish that, you know, he's been catching and everything. And that really is all he be doing. He be working and spear fishing. And I'm just like, that's my type of guy.
I don't know why, because I don't do that.
Because I'm just like, I like people who are into their hobbies and into their life. Like, I feel like there's a lot of guys who go on social media to just basically be creeps. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like Garrett,
I don't. Like, what do you mean creeps? No. I'm saying, like, what do you mean creeps? Like, they go on social media just to, like, go into people's DMs?
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, that's.
But I feel like with Garrett, he really is just into what he's into. You know,
I don't put it past him. Okay, like you don't have to be a creep to go in someone's DMs. I've been in somebody's DMs before. I'll tell you a quick story.
Oh my god!
I sent a girl my number in a DM and she sent me my number back to me. like I wrote out my number and she wrote my number right back to me. So like and I don't consider myself a creep. You know what I'm saying? So like look, I think like for some people though, some people may see his social media as a red flag because I don't know if they would have liked each other if they just would have went off of each other's social medias. Because like even on my social media, there's no pictures of me on there. You get what I'm saying? It's all work related. So imagine if you wanted to talk to a guy and then like you want to go on his social media and all you see is fish. You don't even see him. Yeah, you're kind of like okay. Like,
that doesn't really tell me about you.
Exactly. So it's like,
but once you know him, it does.
Okay, there we go. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So next we go to Alex and Tim.
Yeah.
Tim is just basically they're talking about being in the bed and how they want to sleep, and Tim is not looking forward to cuddling because he get hot.
Hey, listen here.
I'm just like, I understand.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not a cuddler myself either. Okay, because it gets hot. She said, "Oh my goodness, I'm with a guy who hates being the big spoon," and I'm just like, you know what? Before I was ever in a relationship, I always talked about, I'm going to be the big spoon. But it's fun being the little spoon because I get to sleep however I want to sleep and I get to actually go to sleep. You get what I'm saying? Sorry, Blair. Okay. So, yes.
This is our life.
Yes.
Next, we have Tyler and Ashley.
Yeah.
Tyler prays for them before they go to bed. And like I said, I'm biased. I'm just
like, Tyler, listen
full of ish.
Open your eyes, boy. Stop praying. How many kids you got? Because he over there. Exactly. He over there talking about something. Woo, I almost started crying. I'm like, Tyler.
I'm just like, shut the hell up.
Yeah, please, man. How many kids you got, brother? You know?
So Ramses is talking to Marissa.
Yeah. This is my scene.
And Marissa is thinking that he might be a groomzilla, but she is looking forward to planning the wedding together. She doesn't want a guy that's just going to show up just on the day of. She talks about how she wants to have a black wedding and she wants her and her man to be in all white.
Nice. Okay.
So next we move to Garrett and Taylor. They are going to meet his family. And they live in Fredericksburg, Virginia. So she got them flowers and some liquor for the dad. They got her an orchid, and she tells them that Garrett was her number one since day one.
Yeah.
Mom was surprised that he would do something like this. Like, he's never been the type to wear his heart on his sleeve. They talk about how for family get-togethers he bartends, and she talks about, you know, she has a little bartending chemistry background, so she knows how to whip some stuff up as well.
Yeah.
So basically, they talk about how Taylor's parents don't want to participate in the process. They really don't feel comfortable with cameras coming to their home.
Okay.
But they are going to see if they can get her parents just to show up and visit them.
Okay.
So things were just magnetic between them in the pause. They both agree that they probably would have never met in the real world.
Yeah.
Or Garrett would have never given her the time of day because he's just so much into work and his hobbies that he wouldn't have made time for her.
Okay.
So mom asked, had they talked about the hard stuff, about raising kids and compromise, and Garrett tells her that they have talked about everything and they align on a lot of their thoughts.
Yeah.
The mom doesn't just want either one of them to be heard. She adores her son, so of course she's feeling more for her son, but she also understands that Taylor has parents and they care about her, and she doesn't want either one of them to just go too fast and end up in a bad situation.
Yeah.
So in 2 weeks it will be their wedding, and the whole family is a little bit just apprehensive with the speed of things.
Yes.
And Taylor just tells them and reassures them that she loves him and she can see that he's wonderful because of the people that he's come from. They check in with each other and have conversations about some of the harder conversations. They respect each other and they give each other grace if anything changes in the way they want to go about the process.
I have two things to say very quickly, and then you can go on with your thoughts with this.
Yeah.
I don't know if the mother don't like Taylor or the process. Right? Because the mother was crying, but it wasn't tears of joy.
Yeah.
And if you paid attention to when they first came into the house where they greeted each other, Garrett and his mother shared a long hug.
Yeah.
So that lets you know, like, that's her, like
that's her baby.
That's her boy. Like, that's her favorite. Sorry. You get what I'm saying? So when she was still going on, saying hi to the sister, saying hi to the father, things like that, the mother and Garrett was still holding each other, hugging.
Right.
So to see her crying after the fact about the process, I don't know if she's open to Taylor or open about the process altogether. Right. So, like, that's the only thing I got from that scene.
Yeah, for me, I felt like Taylor made a good impression.
Of course.
I think that she wasn't too kind of pandering to the family and being too much. I think she was just being honest about how she felt about him.
Yeah.
But also, if their minds change, that's fine and they'll work it out. And she respects them and she likes them, you know, as the family, just meeting them.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel like she was putting on. I felt like she was representing her true self, and I felt like that's a good way for them to get to know her.
Yeah.
So next we see Ramses.
This is my scene.
He is cooking. Marissa comes home. She was sending him some sexy texts on her way home. She apparently works, or like her studies are in Baltimore, so she's having to do this 2-hour commute, which has been a lot. Okay. So she wants them to move to the Baltimore area once they get out of this process.
Okay.
So she asks him what he needs help with, and he tells her, just sit back, chill, get yourself a glass of wine, and, you know, just watch me cook. So they sit down to eat. Noodles are a little bit hard.
Okay.
But they continue to eat. He asks her about the wedding and how they will do things as far as the religious officiant. Marissa wants a woman to marry them, and she wants more of a spiritual wedding. She feels like God can take a back seat when it comes to this.
Okay, I hear you.
Ramsey's mom is Christian, and he says that if there's no type of Christian element, his mom is going to feel a way about it. Yeah. Marissa thought that growing up, apparently, I guess she was Mormon or raised Mormon. So she thought that she would always be married in the Mormon temple. Yeah. She talks about how when you're taught these beliefs, like white beliefs, and how your God is white, that you start to believe a lot of those things. Yeah. She doesn't want anyone at the wedding to think that they are getting married under religious beliefs. So she's pretty much very much against the religious aspect of it. Okay. Ramsey still believes in a Christian God. He was raised under a type of fire and brimstone type of church. Okay. But he doesn't think that when he dies and, you know, comes across God, that God is going to judge him for having questions. Okay. So Marissa talks about how she believes in past lives. They talk about movies, like there's a past life movie they want to watch, and she's like, well, we need to watch Barbie first. She doesn't want to be with a man who believes in patriarchy. She was in the military, and she felt like that really brainwashed her. Yeah. She doesn't support what the military does in other countries, but she does support the people, the soldiers who are serving. Yeah. So Ramses understands that he's privileged to live in this country. He was not born here, but he does have his critiques. Marissa says that, you know, we've destroyed other countries and societies. Yeah. And Ramses is like, yeah, and the people who serve signed up for this. Marissa talks about how they sacrifice a lot. She didn't sign up for it to unalive people, but she really didn't realize the gravity of it when she joined. Yeah. These service members she talks about are 18 years old when they join, and they really don't understand what they're signing up to do. Facts. Marissa, she feels that she's being judged during the conversation, and she feels like, maybe am I coming across as a hypocrite because I signed up for this? And Ramses tells her that he doesn't want her to feel judged. She just knows that she basically she did her military service. It's something that she is proud of, but he tells her that he wants to know her beyond that. Yeah. she makes the point that it was a huge part of her life. She even grew up on bases since she was 2 years old. She can't handle him being ashamed of her service. And Ramsey says, well, as long as it's in your past. And Marissa talks about how she was in the reserves for a little bit, but she ended up getting out of that. And she's like, well, if I go back into the reserves, would you still want to be with me? And he says that we would just be in different places when it comes to that.
You first.
They both have different views on this.
Yeah.
Well, first I want to talk about the marriage thing. I think that Ramses needs to be a little bit more blunt about his faith.
Be a little honest.
Be a little bit more honest, because she seems that she's very much against anything religious. And honestly, if you're raised in the Mormon church, that is
extreme.
That's like a cult to me.
Yeah, it's extreme. It is extreme.
So for her to be raised in that, especially as a black person, because Mormon people were not allowed, black people were not allowed to be in the Mormon church like until the late 80s or 90s, something like that.
Don't quote me.
But I can totally get with the fact that she had extreme experience when it comes to religion. So now she is like on the polar opposite. But he needs to be honest about how important faith and religion is in his life, so they can really figure out if this is something that they mesh on. Next, when it comes to the military service thing, that's something that they don't agree on either. I think that they just kind of have to agree to disagree on their perspectives on that. I get what she's saying, that she doesn't want somebody who's ashamed of her service. But if Ramses really does not believe in the military and the things that they do and people joining for that, then there's not going to be any changing his mind about it.
No.
So if they probably don't just need to stop talking about that.
Yeah, true.
But the thing is, I get that it was a huge part of her life. So it's something that's going to come up in conversation.
Yeah.
But I think, honestly, your partner can't be everything to you. So she has friends who were in the service or friends that she met in the service. Yeah. So those are the people that she could probably run down those stories with and kind of talk about the good times and everything like that. But Ramses, he's not going to be the one that she can confide in when it comes to her service.
No.
So.
Let me start with the military service thing first, and then I'll work my way backwards.
Okay.
Two of the most influential people in my life was my commander and my master's chief and stuff like that. Not master chief, my commander and my master sergeant, right? Great people. Of course, they was white and things like that. Great people, taught me discipline and things like that. And the thing that I like about Marissa was that she's like, I've been on the base since I was 2. So this path for me basically been forged for me since I was born. Like, this is all I see, this is all I know. I don't like it that this is all I know how to do. I don't like that I've been part of something that I deem right now as an adult like terrible. You get what I'm saying? But this is what I do. Yeah. And even though it does sound like he was kind of insensitive, but he's open to be insensitive. I'm not gonna hold it against him when he said, but you signed up for it. Yeah. You don't know what you signed up for at 18. You really don't, right? Of course, this is beyond just guns and basically taking other people's lives. It goes way beyond that. To have hundreds of thousands of people to march to one order, to march the order, there has to be some type of brainwashing and rewiring, right? So there is, I believe, something to Marissa to where she's like, I don't like the person that I became, but it helped me so much. Yeah. I think Ramses should actually show more compassion in that sense, because Marissa's already beating herself up about it. Right. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's no point of me saying, well, you know, if this is something you're going to do, then I can't be with you. It's like she already conflicted by it. Right. She's like, I hate the person that I've become, but there's so many benefits to it. It gave me so many opportunities that, like, I support the troops, but not what we do. There's danger, of course. You know, America bully people and things like that. We need our military, because the truth about the military is there's dangers that are seen that we know about, and a lot of danger that is unseen and things like that. And without the military, we wouldn't be where we are today. Now, working backwards to where she said we got to get married by a woman, and she said she don't believe in patriarchy or something like that. Yeah. And then she said Barbie taught her a lot. If you've seen Barbie, right? Here's the thing. nothing against women at all, right? Actually, a woman officiated my wedding, right? So mama, shout out to you, right? I have nothing against it. I think because of her experience, though, to what Blair was talking about, her being part of the Mormon church or being raised in the Mormon church, allegedly, she have extreme experiences that kind of cultivate how she think, and how she's going by correcting it, I think is extreme.
Exactly. Like she's just swinging completely the other way. Yeah.
Even when they was talking about God, she used like he, she, they. And if she don't believe in patriarchy, it's kind of like, do you not believe certain things because of your experience? Or do you not believe in this because, to fit into this, don't believe in patriarchy, I have to feel this way.
Right.
More than like, I felt this and this is what I feel. So I think she's trying to basically like, oh, okay, I don't believe in patriarchy. So because I don't believe in that, I have to not believe in this. I have to not believe in this. I have to not believe in this.
She's really trying to course correct hard.
But really, she didn't experience that. So, and my only fear with that is when Ramses showed himself to be a male. And when I say show himself to be a male, I'm not talking about gender per se, but I'm talking about those male attributes and things like that. How would she take that? Because if she's going on with the whole, I don't believe in patriarchy, you're cooking, I hate cooking. And truth be told is, do you really hate cooking, or do you just not believe in patriarchy? So you're just following the other. So
now you're creating these things.
Exactly.
It's just like, I don't want to do this.
Exactly.
Then it would
Come on,
put
Blair.
me underneath that. And I want to be sure that I stay away from anything that resembles patriarchy or what women are supposed to do. Versus, you might actually like.
You might like cook.
Make steak. You know what I'm saying? You might like making steak. You know.
You are following me. I thought that I was going to lose some people, but no. I think because she don't believe in that, she's like, you know what? As a woman, I don't cook. I don't clean, and guess what?
And you stay at home,
and you stay at home, and then on top of that, don't think I'm just gonna be a mother and just it's like those are things that he really needs to attack and actually see what she's about and see if there's any type of course correcting, because all these things is based off of her trauma. That's why she said, I don't want no man that's in the military. I don't want no type of masculinity,
right? Because we don't know what she actually feels like versus what she doesn't want to go through again.
Exactly. So I need to know what you went through compared to, in this non-patriarchy thing, we don't wash dishes, but you may like washing dishes.
Yeah.
So and I say all that to say this made me like Marissa. Not because I agree with anything that she said, but she was open. They had a real conversation. They did not agree. Yeah. It was respectful. You get what I'm saying? I like the James Baldwin, because James Baldwin is one of my favorite people that like I like reading, because he live in the country. He feel the freedom to critique it. I like the conversation. I don't only want conversation that we both can agree, but I think he needs to be careful, because as a guy, there is attributes that may just pop out that I'm not trying to do, but as a married man and as a masculine man, I might be like, hey, and she may be turned off by that. You get what I'm saying? Where really I'm just like, I'm not trying to be dominant over you. I just have that toxic thing in me. You know what I'm saying? It's in me, not on me. So I'm like, I don't want her to like Ramses because he doesn't resemble to her
what she's been through.
What not only she been through, but what she believes that, he don't fit the patriarchy. So so when he shows just a little bit of it, you get what I'm saying? Will she be able to take that? You get what I'm saying? Will she allow him to still call himself he? Yeah. You get what I'm saying? It's just those type of things, because I feel like she's taking it to that extreme. And I'm just like, hey, if he believes that he's a guy, and if he's believed that he's masculine in certain ways and things of that nature, will you give him the space to him to be himself, and not for him to basically go into whatever you believe and things like that? Also, be upfront about your religion beliefs. Do not, to Blair's point, don't lie about it. You know your mother's Pentecostal.
And don't downplay it.
You know your mother's Pentecostal, apostolic. She probably speak in tongues and use olive oil to like anoint your head. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? This is not just somebody, because he said he was raised in the church.
And fire and brimstone type of church.
So he said he was raised in the church, so he know the behind the scenes. So this just wasn't somebody who just went to church and came home on Sundays. This is somebody that probably was in church 3 to 5 times a week, and probably was like, one of the main members and things like that. Let Marissa know what type of mother you got. You get what I'm saying? Other than that, I have nothing else. Do you have anything else?
That's all I got.
Listen, I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment. Make sure y'all comment on my wife's hair. She put some highlights in her hair. She wants y'all to see it. She want me to see it. Okay, I see you, baby. Okay.
I saw Ashley and Alex is sewing. I was just like, I need me a little bundle.
It looks real good. It looks real good. It looks real good. We are preparing for our anniversary.
Yeah, 1 year married.
We made it to a year after being together for over 7. Okay. Yeah. But I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment. We'll be back with the next episode the next day. Today, we will release this episode, and also 1,000 Pound Sisters is coming out tonight as well. Make sure y'all catch that. We catch y'all next time.
Bye.